The battlefield was still smoldering when Captain Rotter landed, his wings 12. Meters of obsidian armor and burning veins of blue plasmin furled with a force that shook ash from the air. Every soldier, human and alien alike, froze. Some dropped their weapons. Others whispered prayers. Because when Rotter of the Draconis Legion arrived, there were only two possible outcomes: submission or extinction. He stood at the center of the ruined outpost, scanning for survivors. His talons carved molten scars into the metal floor. The humans who hadn't fled were huddled behind overturned crates, trembling. One man raised his hands. "Pub Lisdone. Kill us. We surrender." Rotter didn't respond. He was listening. Something small was crying. A faint, shaky sob. A child, his armored head turned sharply, hacking every nearby human's fear in half. He growled, "Move aside." The humans didn't dare refuse. They parted like water as the alien dragon strode toward the collapsed command tower. His senses honed in on the little sound, buried, fading, desperate. He tore away beams as if they were paper, pushing aside burning debris until there she was. A tiny human girl, 6 years old, covered in dust. A collapsed support beam was pinning her legs. Her breaths were thin, trembling. Her big brown eyes widened as the shadow of the enormous dragon fell across her. Rotter lowered himself, surprisingly gently, and inspected the beam. Steel, twisted. The child couldn't move at all. Behind him, a soldier yelled, Sir! Let us get her out," Rotter snarled, wings flaring. "Touch her and die." The soldier fell silent. The dragon warrior dug his claws under the beam and lifted. The metal screeched, bending like wet clay. With one motion, he hurled it aside. The little girl whimpered as she tried to sit up. Rotter extended a talon, curling it slightly, inviting her. But she didn't move. She only stared at him through tears. "Are you hurt?" He rumbled, voice like thunder shaped into words. She nodded weakly. "What is your name, small one?" Her lip wobbled. "Elia." He lifted her as delicately as a blade of grass. The humans watched in stunned silence. The monster who had ended worlds held the child in both hands as if she were carved from starlight. Her fingers gripped the scales on his palm. Are you going to eat me?" A quiet sound rippled from deep in his chest. Not laughter, something. "Softer." "No, Leah," he said. "I do not harm children." She blinked up at him. "You're warm." Her tiny body leaned into his thumb, seeking the heat of his plasma-lined armored scales. Her trembling stopped. Something ancient and instinctive in Rotter shifted. A memory flashed an egg shattered by enemy fire. A hatchling's cry silenced. Forever. A wound he thought time had calloused. But here, in this fragile human child, the sound of that memory softened. He held her closer. The human commander approached cautiously, saluting with shaking hands. "Great, Rotter, we appreciate your mercy. We thought you destroyed everything here." Rotter's voice rumbled like a storm. "Your outpost fell before my arrival. Who attacked?" "Rogue mercenaries," the commander said. "Raided us for supplies?" He nodded at Leah, voice cracking. Her parents didn't make it. Leah clung to Rotter's thumb, burying her face in his scales. Something primal snapped inside the dragon. He raised his head slowly. "Where," he growled, "did they go?" The commander swallowed. "We tracked them, fleeing east. But we barely have the force to. You will not pursue," Rotter said. "I will." And every soldier on site felt a chill. The mercenaries would not survive. But Leia tugged at Rotter's scales. Don't go," she hiccuped. "Don't leave me alone." He froze. The battlefield, the soldiers, the war, everything dulled to a distant echo. He looked down at her. "When I return," said softly, "no one will ever hurt you again." But her sobbing didn't stop. She gripped him tighter, tiny fingers trembling. "Please don't leave."
Daddy!
Time stopped. Every soldier turned. The galaxy's most terrifying dragon warrior, conqueror of moons, scourge of enemy lines, stared at the fragile girl cradled against his chest. Her voice came again, soft, scared, broken. "Dad, please don't. Let go." His heart, massive, armored. The heart of a war beast cracked. He lowered his wings around her, creating a dark cocoon of heat and safety. The trembling of her tiny body against him reignited. Instincts older than war, she had chosen him, not as a monster, not as a threat, but as a father. Rotter bowed his head, pressing his brow gently to her small hand. "Very well, little one," he whispered. "I will not leave." For the first time in recorded human history, the Dragon Lord Rotter did not pursue vengeance. He stayed. He wrapped himself around Leah like a living fortress while human medics approached only after getting his silent approval. She was bruised, dehydrated, exhausted, but alive. As they treated her, she refused to let go of his talon, and Rotter refused to move even an inch away from her. When the sun dipped below the ruined outpost, Leia fell asleep curled between his folded claws. Her small breaths puffed against his scales. Occasionally, her fingers tightened around him, as if scared he'd vanish. He kept perfectly still to avoid waking her. The human commander hesitated nearby. "Great Rotter, what will happen to her?" "Will come with me," he said. Soldiers stared, baffled, but she's human. "She is mine now," Rotter said simply, in a tone that allowed no disagreement. "No human or beast will harm her again." The return flight to the Draconis flagship was slow and careful, far slower than any warrior had ever seen him fly.